Welcome to Conversations with Tom Shorkey. Conversations explores the past, the present, and the future of the communities in which we live through the eyes of interesting individuals. Now let's join our host, Tom Shorkey.
Welcome to Conversations. I'm your host for today's program, Tom Shorkey. You know, there was an author, Fannie Flagg, and she wrote a really interesting book, and it was named The All-Girls Filling Station. And it was set during World War II when her father and brother had to go off to fight in Europe, and a couple of sisters were left at home, but Dad had a gas station. And they didn't know what to do with it, so they said, what the heck, we'll run it. And it became one of the most popular filling stations in Chicago back in the 40s. Well, we're kind of have that same story here in St. Clair. Our guests today are twin sisters who grew up in St. Clair, own a business, and are on the verge of a brand new adventure in the world of commercial St. Clair. I'd like to welcome to today's program, Shelia and Shelly LaCroix.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, most everybody, once they see you on camera, they're going to go, huh, they're from the Riverside. Yes, they are. LaCroix's Riverside, right on Clinton in St. Clair. An establishment your dad purchased over 20 years ago, and then eventually, approximately 5 years ago, it became the Shelia and Shelly Show on Clinton Avenue. Tell us a little bit about the Riverside.
Well, my dad bought the bar in 1995. I started in the year of 1996, 6 months after. I've been there 21 years. A lot's changed. When I first started there, it was kind of like a working man's bar. You know, everybody could kind of have a couple and go back to work, and those times are kind of over.
It's probably a good thing.
Yeah, it's okay. The laws have changed, but we serve a lot of food, a lot of dinner.
And I think that the thing about the Riverside and the LaCroix sisters, not only is your business in St. Clair, but you guys pretty much grew up here. What elementary school did you go to, Shelly?
On Meisner Road.
The old East China Elementary School. Well, we won't talk about what years those might have been. Then after that, with where you lived, you ended up coming to this building where our studio is in the old middle school. It was a junior high school, I think, at the time you guys came, and then graduated from St. Clair High. Now, when you graduated from St. Clair High, did you ever have the foggiest idea that you guys would be bar owners someday?
I don't know.
What did you think you were going to do when you graduated from St. Clair High?
I always wanted to be an art teacher.
Wow.
I was a hairdresser, and then I worked in a factory, and my dad asked me to work for him, and I said no, because I didn't want to work for family. About 6 months after, I went to work for him, and it's the best thing I've ever done.
So what, you know, the Riverside is a special place. I mean, you have a lot of regular customers. You have people who come to town for events, stop in there. What's the menu? What if somebody comes in there to eat lunch, what are they typically going to order? What are 2 or 3 or 4 of the
probably
hot
the rye
items?
rye burger or Reuben.
Is a rye burger a patty melt for the most part?
Yeah.
I've heard people talk about your steaks.
We have a 14-ounce ribeye we're famous for. It's awesome. I think we do as many of those as we do fish. But we sell a lot of perch and cod, a lot of nachos. So we have a very good menu.
So you're open every day? You open for lunch or late morning you open up?
Open 11 o'clock.
Now, typically when people think of bar owners, they think of some big, hairy, burly guy behind there pouring drinks and snarling at the people. That's not the case. I mean, you two guys are lock, stock, and barrel. Shelly, you do the books. You handle the kitchen and the ordering downstairs. How has it been?
It's awesome. We work really well together. We have an awesome staff. So we kind of count on them, and I think they count on us as well. We're always around. If they need us, they know they can call at any time. Kitchen, out front, anything. So.
What's the hardest part about
Probably being the boss.
being the boss?
Yeah. sometimes you have to do what you don't want to do, but
Or especially when it comes to
Yes.
if an employee needs
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. We don't run into a lot of problems.
no, not too many.
Yeah.
But is owning an establishment like the Riverside, is that kind of like owning a dairy herd where you're kind of you're locked in 7 days a week, there's something going on, and
No,
Yeah.
but
If
I
you
think
wanna
it's
leave town, how
because
do
we
you
have
do
a
that?
good staff, though. You know, I mean,
Right.
we can step away. You know, and if she's going to be out of town or something, you know, we work on that.
and then also you have a third member of the family that's involved at the Riverside, and that is,
Brooke.
My daughter, Brooke.
Brooke.
Summer.
and she is, what
She
is-
helps
what
us
is
cook
her-
right now. She's waitress and bartended a tiny bit, but she cooks for us a couple days a week, and she's awesome at what she does back there. So John is our main cook. He cooks 5 to 6 days a week, sometimes 7. He puts out a lot of food, and people come in because they know he's there as well. So
And you have managed, and I think St. Clair has very well. I mean, right along Clinton there, where there are 4 establishments, you know, you start at the Voyager and Pepper Joe's, and then the Riverside, and then Murphy's, and then a year or so ago, you know, the Brew Pub opened up in the mall, and the St. Clair Inn's talking about all the good and great things they're going to do, but instead of worrying about business, you two came up with a different idea. Tell our listeners at home what's next for the LaCroix
how
sisters.
did that happen?
Well, Grant was in one night, and
Well, wait, first, Grant,
oh,
we got to,
yeah. But
your next venture is
Drifters,
Drifters.
Restaurant and Lounge.
you're buying the restaurant, Ackett's
Yeah.
restaurant in the mall,
Yep.
right next to the refurbished courtyard.
hmm
Now, how did that happen?
Grant was in one night, and he was just kind of being funny, and he's like, Shell, hey, why don't you buy my place? So I looked back at him, and I'm like, why don't you buy mine?
Mhm.
So we just kind of laughed about it, and a couple of days later I said to Sheila, what do you think about buying Ackett's? And she's like, really? Don't you think we're going to cut our own throats a little bit?
Mhm.
I'm like, well, the St. Clair Inn's opening, and somebody's going to buy it, you know? Might as well be us. So that's how it started.
So one thing
It
led to
started
another.
as a joke.
Pardon me?
It started as a joke.
So, you know,
Started as a
little
joke,
bit-
and now it's the real
yeah.
deal.
As we were getting into a little bit, you know, we were kind of joking, and she's like, the next time you have a thought, wait about 15 minutes, it'll pass. But we're not
All right.
scared.
So now you're going to have 2 establishments.
Mhm.
You're going to continue the Riverside
Yep.
and continue all the traditions that you have there as
Yeah.
far as the menu and the ambiance involved with the Riverside. But now you're also going to be around the corner and downtown right across from the park. Not in the first week or the first month, but say by springtime, is there going to be a different look to the old Ackett's restaurant?
Yes.
What do you hope to do a little bit differently?
Well, there's a lot of remodel work that we plan on the inside. You know, bathrooms,
And
Right now, we continue to do a lot of their menu and stuff their way.
Their way, yeah.
So it'll give us the time to allow time to maybe shut down a little earlier at night and do some things we want to get done. Work on the menu with the cooks to help us out with our new menu and our new adventure. But just the remodel part. But we're waiting on a liquor license. We got approved for it, but we're waiting on that. So when we actually get that and switch over, we'll do a grand opening probably March or April.
okay, that sounds good. Now,
Yep.
right now, that restaurant is open in the morning for breakfast. Are you going to continue that?
yeah. Yeah.
Are you guys going to figure out how you're going to sleep at some point?
I think we're glad there's 2 of us.
Yeah.
Sheila, what's the name of the new establishment going to be?
Drifters Restaurant and Lounge.
Drifters Restaurant and Lounge. Sounds like but did you have to break the news to all the Ackett's employees that they would no longer have a job?
Nope, we had our first meeting with them last night after closing. And, I mean, as long as they want to be there, we want them. You know.
So you're just hiring the whole staff there, so.
We met them last night, and I think we're as blessed.
I
I
think
think
they're
they're
excited.
ready. I think they're ready for changes as well as
Yeah.
we are. So
What's the most, so, yeah, I mean, that is good. For the audience
Yeah.
at home, there's a number of people that do work at the Ackett's restaurant down in the mall, and that Shelia and Sheila are going to maintain their employment and going to work
Yeah.
together with them. So I think that sounds like a win-win for for the residents who happen to work there. What are there big events? I mean, in the summertime, art fair, fireworks, boats, races, whatever. It's going to be right in your front yard.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
What's the most? See,
That's weird.
I said, now, do you, as twins, do you kind of like think the
Oh my
same?
gosh.
And they said, well, they end up answering each other's or finishing each other's sentences. I think we just witnessed that live on cable channel 6 there. What's the most exciting part about the new venture?
Opportunities.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect timing with the St. Clair Inn. Like you said, opening, Warwater's right there. I think
So
that
much
we can
potential.
work off of each other. I think that a lot of restaurants in town, competition's good, but I think we help each other, like all of us do. I
You
don't
know,
think it's...
And it's good that you say that, because I've had a number of the different establishments either on the show or just stop in for research, and they say that, you know,
Yeah,
if
it is.
if it's good, if it's good for the St. Clair Inn, it'll be good for the Voyager, it'll be good for the Riverside, it'll be good for Murphy's, because it brings that many more people to town. Is there something that really kind of makes you nervous about going into this thing?
At first, but no, I feel more confident after meeting the employees last night. I think that helped a lot, to ease my mind anyway.
So
Yeah,
who-
I don't think we're too scared. Mm-mm.
Cooking
So-
eggs,
Good
maybe.
feeling. Cooking eggs.
Maybe the important thing
Let 'em
would be,
cook.
we should have this conversation in 2 or 3 months, and then
Yeah.
you may say, what did we get ourselves into? But no, it sounds
think-
like
yeah.
you're both very confident about what you do and how you do it. You've been, Sheila, you've been at the Riverside for about, what, 21 years?
A
or
little over
something?
21 years, yeah.
So there shouldn't be any new wrinkles that get thrown at you two that
Yeah.
maybe you haven't handled before.
And that helps, so.
What kind of advice, if you didn't have your Riverside experience, and you didn't have experience dealing with employees, and you keep the books, and if somebody brand new said, I want to buy a restaurant, or I want to buy a bar and a restaurant kind of a thing, what advice would you have for somebody who's never done it before?
Work hard and
Yeah,
learn your
hard working.
business. Like you need to, like people get sick, things happen, and you need to know like those jobs so you can do it. But
And
work,
you need to be
work hard.
available.
Now, it seems like with the Riverside, one or the other, if not both of you, are usually kind of hanging around or are around there. I mean, I would imagine that's a key thing for employee morale and customers.
It helps. I mean, if you're there, you know what's going on, and just, yeah, I think you need to be there.
Who's been an influence in your life?
My mom, she might not agree at first, but she always backs us up. She always stands behind us. And my sister Kelly
Yeah.
is she's an inspiration.
And that's good. And when we
She's always there for us.
when we air this show, we'll make sure Mom gets a copy of the DVD. It's
Thank you.
it's very nice of you to say
There we
that.
go.
If we are going to do a 30-second commercial on why somebody should live in St. Clair, or you guys have been here all of your 29 years.
Yeah.
So what, if you had to do a commercial for the Blue Water area and living and enjoying St. Clair, what would it sound like?
I think we have one of the best communities to live in. We have the best view of like our water and stuff. All of our hospitality places, like all of us, like restaurants and stuff, you can walk to each of them. I think as we come together as a small community, if somebody's sick, that we always pull together as a group. You know, I think it's important, and I think that we're blessed to be here.
Great.
So
What about if somebody new came to town and they stopped and somebody said, well, where should we stop for lunch? Where would be a good spot? What would you like someone to say about the Riverside, why they should go there?
Our staff, we're friendly. I mean, we have good food. Okay, we got to cut. Hold on. Can we cut?
Yeah. No, you're fine. We're fine. We're going to go to Sheila. I think you it stated well, though, and that is something.
That was awesome.
I think there's three things, and
thought it'd be fun.
And Shelley hit them. Is your food's great, you have great employees, and way back when your dad bought the place, I think it was Bernier's Riverside. Was that where it was?
Bernier's Riverside.
I mean, it kind of was a spot where somebody popped in at lunch and had a beer, or after work at the Diamond, they'd stop in and whatever.
Yes.
And really, it's taken a while, but the Riverside has transitioned from just being like Pepper Joe's being Burkhart's back in the day, where it's just where the guys went after work and had a shot in a beer kind of a thing, to the Riverside really has a nice little atmosphere in there with and great food all times of the day. So I think you stated it well, Shelley.
And you know, without the smoking now, we have a lot of families. The kids love our food.
Well, I personally think, and I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I think at first when the no smoking rule came in, people were a little bit concerned. What would that do about your customers and your clients?
That did not hurt us.
It's paid dividends. I mean, and I still, when anybody goes up Clinton, it doesn't matter which of the establishments, but yours, if somebody wants to smoke, they step outside and do it. But it does make it, you know, whenever I've stopped in, there's been families in there eating the nachos or, you know, doing the chicken strips or whatever, and I do think that's been a very positive thing.
Yeah, it has been.
We have awesome employees and awesome customers that help support everything that we do, so we're blessed.
And they're good at their jobs.
Pardon me?
They're very good at their jobs. We don't have too many problems, but when we do, they're on it, you know.
How many people, how many employees would you have now, like at the Riverside? I mean,
11.
11. And then
That's a lot for us.
Well, I think 11. It sounds like a lot when you look at your little.
That includes the two of us.
Yeah. And then what about how many? Would you say you met with the staff at Ackutz's the other night?
I'm not sure how many.
There's about 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot of paperwork to do there, Shelley.
They all plan on staying, and we plan on keeping them and working. You know, if we need to fill in other people, then we'll see what they want first.
So you're going to be open for business at Ackutz's, but people shouldn't expect big changes right out of the chute. You're going to open it up. You've got their staff, and you've got some great ideas. And by the time the warmer weather gets here, you're going to be you've got some redecorating to do.
Going to do it in sections and work while we're there.
Are you going to try to find something on the menu, look at all the other establishments in town and say, what should we put on this menu that they don't have?
We've kind of went through a couple times.
Yeah, we have some good ideas.
So great. So for our audience at home, we've been very fortunate today to have the co-owners of the Riverside, Shelia and Shelly LaCroix, and they're very proud to announce their new grand adventure, which is buying Ackutz's restaurant in the mall, next to the refurbished courtyard, right across the street from all the activities that happen in this town over the summer months. So if you get a chance, stop and see Shelley and Sheila, and you can either catch them on Clinton Avenue at the Riverside or at their new establishment in the front of the mall. On behalf of Conversations, thank you for watching today's show, and thanks, ladies. You did a great job.
Thanks for having us.
You've been watching Conversations with Tom Shorkey. Conversations explores the past, the present, and the future of the communities in which we live through the eyes of interesting individuals. If you have an idea for a future conversation, please contact us at www.watchctv.org. Thanks for watching Conversations with Tom Shorkey.